Join me as I take on the challenge of mastering breastfeeding with 101 tips and tricks for new moms. Welcome to the ultimate breastfeeding guide for new moms, where we'll share 101 essential tips and tricks to make your breastfeeding journey smoother and more enjoyable. Many new moms struggle with common issues such as latching difficulties, milk supply concerns, and feeling overwhelmed by the breastfeeding process. It's a steep learning curve, but with the right guidance, you'll be well on your way to a successful and fulfilling breastfeeding experience. One of the most important things to remember is that breastfeeding is a journey, and it's okay to take it one step at a time. You don't have to have all the answers right away, and it's perfectly normal to encounter setbacks along the way. The key is to stay informed, stay patient, and stay committed to your breastfeeding goals. And that's exactly what we'll help you do in this video. Getting started with breastfeeding can be intimidating, especially if you're a first-time mom. You may have heard horror stories about nipple soreness, engorgement, and cluster feeding, and you may be wondering if you're doing everything right. But the truth is, every breastfeeding journey is unique, and what works for one mom may not work for another. So, instead of comparing yourself to others, focus on your own journey and celebrate your small victories along the way. Every feeding session, every ounce of milk expressed, and every moment of bonding with your baby is a success, no matter how small it may seem. In the early days of breastfeeding, it's common to feel frustrated, anxious, and overwhelmed. You may worry about whether your baby is getting enough milk, whether you're doing everything right, and whether you'll ever get the hang of it. But remember, breastfeeding is a skill that takes time to develop, and it's okay to take things one step at a time. Don't be too hard on yourself if you encounter setbacks along the way, and don't hesitate to reach out for help when you need it. One of the most important things to remember is that breastfeeding is not just about feeding your baby. It's about bonding, comforting, and nurturing your little one. It's about creating a sense of security and trust that will last a lifetime, and it's about celebrating the incredible gift of motherhood. So, take a deep breath, relax, and enjoy the journey. You got this, mama. We'll delve into practical advice on how to achieve a good latch, increase your milk supply, and establish a comfortable feeding routine while addressing emotional and physical challenges. From finding the perfect breastfeeding position to managing nipple soreness and engorgement, we'll cover it all. We'll also explore the importance of self-care, support systems, and building a community of fellow breastfeeding moms who understand the ups and downs of this incredible journey. One of the most effective ways to increase your milk supply is to nurse frequently, especially in the early days. This sends a signal to your body that it needs to produce more milk, and it helps to establish a strong supply of milk for your baby. It's also important to stay hydrated, eat nutritious foods, and get plenty of rest to help your body recover from childbirth and support your milk production. Another crucial aspect of breastfeeding is finding a comfortable and effective breastfeeding position. This can take some experimentation, so don't be discouraged if it takes a few tries to find what works for you. Try different positions, use pillows or a breastfeeding support, and don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it. Building a support system is also essential for breastfeeding success. Reach out to friends, family, or a lactation consultant for guidance and encouragement. Having a community of fellow breastfeeding moms can make all the difference, especially during the challenging times. The key insight here is that every breastfeeding journey is unique, and we'll share powerful stories from moms who turned their struggles into successes, inspiring you on your path. From overcoming latching difficulties to navigating the emotional ups and downs of breastfeeding, these stories will remind you that you're not alone and that you, too, can overcome any obstacle that comes your way. One mom's story is about overcoming nipple soreness and finding a comfortable breastfeeding position. She tried different creams, ointments, and nipple shields, but nothing seemed to work until she discovered a lactation consultant who helped her find a game-changing position that made all the difference. Another mom's story is about building a support system and finding a community of fellow breastfeeding moms. She was feeling isolated and overwhelmed until she connected with a group of moms who understood her struggles and offered valuable advice and encouragement. These stories, and many more like them, will inspire and motivate you to stay committed to your breastfeeding goals, even when the going gets tough. Remember, you're not alone, and you, too, can turn your struggles into successes. In summary, breastfeeding can be challenging but is incredibly rewarding. Remember the tips we've discussed and know that support is always available. Don't be afraid to reach out for help when you need it, and don't give up on your breastfeeding goals, even when the going gets tough. If you found these tips helpful, please leave a comment with your thoughts and subscribe for more parenting content.